The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It is a Talkin' Tuesday edition of Talkin' Cowboys, presented by Tostitos, helping fans get in on the game and our favorite chip and our favorite dip of Talkin' Cowboys. Welcome into the SWBC
Come on,
studios.
No. It's the chip
and the dip.
I got it.
Of
No,
Talkin'
I
Cowboys.
got it. I understood.
Are you a double dip guy?
Yeah, if it's mine.
Okay,
That's fair. That's a good point.
I mean,
What
It's
do you
very
do?
considerate of him.
What do you do if you're at like a little gathering and somebody double dips and you don't know this person?
Oh, side-eye.
Side eye?
Side-eye,
You're gonna
scowl.
you're not gonna be direct with it. I feel like Heckman would just be like, hey.
I am on who said it guy. I am said guy that forgets that. You know,
You double dip. You're the double dip.
You're the culprit.
You're the culprit. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Would you ever just go up and just, like, if you're having a chip or whatever, and just dip into someone else's stuff?
No.
There's etiquette.
No. But community. He's done it.
There's an inside
Only a
thing
true
going.
savage would do something like that.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, man, I have a story for the break.
Is this a Senior Bowl thing?
No.
No.
Well, kind of.
Heckman, you're the culprit?
No.
No,
not
not
in this.
Not
I'm
in
talking
this
about the double dip.
situation.
I forget. Just depends. I'm that guy.
He's just rolling.
Yeah.
He's enjoying some nice Tostitos dip.
The
and
community
then
dip?
It just happens.
I have done that. I have been the guy that has gotten the side.
That's the first
Now-
step is admitting your problem.
Yeah.
The fact that he is self-aware is a great thing. Secondly, did you do it this past weekend during the Super Bowl?
No, I
Good.
did not.
There we
No,
go.
I didn't.
Then we're all good. We're all good here.
I see how-
By the way, if you couldn't tell, no Rob Phillips today. We've got Nick Eatman standing in here from DallasCowboys.com.
Fire shirt.
Keeping that. Yeah, I like the shirt. Looks great.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, little
With an
day
M.
late. What?
So my son calls it Valentine's Day, and I just don't change it.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
How old's your son?
Let it happen.
6?
Okay. Did he ask for something for Valentine's Day?
No. I mean, he gets it. They get it at school, right? They get all
Yeah.
that stuff at school.
All the different candy
Yeah,
and stuff.
you
You,
know.
pass it around.
I feel like school's getting soft. You remember back in the day, like they are. We got an hour, right? So school's getting soft because back in the day, somebody showed up and they gave you a card. You remember that? You either wrote their name down, wrote a little love letter,
Yep.
or they had the little Valentine's ones you could buy in the pack.
Absolutely.
And hand those out to somebody. Guess what? There was always somebody who didn't get one. Right?
Sure.
Nowadays they don't allow that.
No, everyone has
Everybody,
to get it.
if you bring one,
Everybody.
you have to bring it for everybody.
It's
That's
inclusion.
so much BS.
Yeah, but
Be a better person.
but there's ways around it, right? I mean, you could say what kind of sticker did they get? Did they get the one that said "hug me," or did they say
Okay.
"you're cool," or
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
"we could still be friends," or
feel you.
"let's go"? I mean, whatever it is,
Solid, dude.
yeah,
It's not a I love you. It's a have fun.
But you
Yeah.
have to spend extra money now to protect feelings.
That's
What's
why
up with that?
That's why they sell the pack of 30 for
that's-
your class. That's
okay.
it's all about participation trophies for everybody. You don't want anyone to be left out.
Well, you got to buy that, what, Tom Thumb? Is that the sponsor?
Yeah,
Albertsons. Yeah, Albertsons Tom Thumb.
something another.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, and I love this visual image of you just like coaching up people during a Valentine's exchange.
No, well-
no, he doesn't need one. Keep going. You weren't going to give him one.
Well,
That's
yesterday
fine.
I picked my kids up from school, right? I got 2 girls and a boy, okay? And I picked my kids up from school, and a girl, as soon as everybody gets in the car, and I turn around and I give my daughters a rose, right? Ever
Absolutely.
since they're little baby girls, I've been giving them a rose every Valentine's Day. And my son looks at me, he's like, what do I get? I said, you don't get nothing. What you talking about? What do you get?
Yeah.
I'll share something with you. I ain't getting nothing directly.
Yeah. That
about
makes
it.
sense, I guess.
That's about right.
Okay.
That's awesome. The only person that's ever bought me Valentine's presents is my
What do I
mom
get?
and my fiance.
Yeah, open
It
chest.
makes sense. My dad's never bought me anything, so that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
My
I love
guy. That's it.
as always. But guys,
Is this what happens on Talkin' Cowboys? Like,
whenever you're 4 minutes into an hour-long show,
hour,
yeah,
man.
pretty much.
and then when you wear your Valentine's shirt, Valentine's.
yeah,
You know what, guys? We can't look over this. This was your first engaged Valentine's.
it was indeed. Week after.
Did you still have to come up? Did you still have to come up with something for Valentine's?
Yeah, that's
I had a gift and a bottle of wine and some roses and stuff.
Rose.
Yeah. No, it was Cabernet.
Oh.
We're Cab people.
Oh, Cab.
Yeah, we've got a favorite bottle, so I went and got the favorite bottle.
So Nick, you've
fun.
been married as long as I have, just about. You come up big on Valentine's Day yesterday. You get roses, chocolate, all that stuff.
Whataburger.
Don't do that.
I love that idea,
Seriously,
honestly.
No, come on now. Don't be
That
like
sounds
that.
great.
You had to come up with something, Nick.
We do our stuff, Yeah. You get the flowers, you get the cards.
Okay,
you get the,
all right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Whataburger.
Everybody's got it.
No, I wasn't Whataburger.
Like, what?
It was close though, but it was the only sponsor thing I could
Use a
think of.
They get to the window. Nick's like, wait a minute.
Buy one, get one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We have a
goodness.
partnership there.
By the way, for Valentine's Day, we're 53 individuals that are not only going to get a bottle of wine, but they're going to get a ring. That's the Los Angeles Rams that earned that Super Bowl title with the win over the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. It was a close game, actually. I thought L.A. was the far superior talented team, and we kind of talked about that a little bit last week. We forgot to give our predictions, but that's okay. But yeah,
I know
L.A.
you had the Rams.
Yeah, all the way through, through and through.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
But-
Who do you guys think that the standout superstar was for that game?
It depends on the time of the game, but I would say Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'm going to go Aaron Donald in the last.
AD?
Yeah, AD in those last minutes, he sealed the deal.
I don't like co-MVPs, but I think they should have done it. I mean, I think they both dominated their side of the ball. It was. I probably would have picked Aaron Donald though.
Okay, AD.
The way that Cooper Kupp
Kupp,
took
man.
over in that
His
final
stats-
drive.
His stats are better than that too, because
Yeah.
he was getting held all over the place.
pretty bad.
And I'm sorry. Do you think Trayvon Diggs or Anthony Brown? You think they would have trouble with Cooper Kupp?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
two best corners on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubt.
So number 55. I'm sorry. I mean, you're holding Cooper
Linebacker,
Kupp.
yeah.
You're not staying with him in space.
No.
Yep. And I mean, have you, ever seen?
You don't like the penalty?
Look, linebackers get a bad rap anyway in those situations, and people automatically assume that that's supposed to be a flag. He did, kind of
There was a tug.
a little bit, right? But come on, man, he wasn't as egregious as they wanted to make it. And the way that the ball game had been called up until
There you
that
go.
point, it's like, come on, dog.
It was
And-
ticky-tack compared to the rest of the football game.
Absolutely. I mean, I could have found a better one, but number 55 played a hell of a game.
If you're going to no-call
What,
T.
Nick?
Higgins.
I'm laughing at Chris Collinsworth tried his best the whole game to not show that he played for Cincinnati until that call, and he was like, "That's what they called." That's all. He was like, "Oh, "That's what."
you gotta be
He goes, "What do you
kidding."
think about that call?" Al Michaels set him up. He was like, "That's what they called." Okay, there you go. He's got the.
He threw something across the room. Trust me.
Yeah.
Does it have a sound effect going on that one?
It's happened a couple times in our booth every once in a while. But the big thing with it was a no call early in the game. T. Higgins on the play with Jalen Ramsey where he almost ripped Ramsey's face mask off of his helmet, and then it's turned into a touchdown. And then you've got the no call or the actual call late on the pass interference. So in my opinion, it kind of offset a little bit. I don't agree with either one of the calls. I thought it should have been reversed either way. But it ended up evening out. Both teams benefited. Both teams scored a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, by the way, we're talking about his dominance on that final drive, the amount of receptions, the amount of times he got open. Everyone in the stadium knew who the ball was going to. It was going to number 10 in the white. It was going to Cooper Kupp.
Why was it going to him?
Because he's a playmaker, and he gets open, and he finds his way into space.
And they throw him the ball.
Oh, and offensive coordinators and offensive play calling puts him in a space to be successful.
No sarcasm
Also
here.
found-
I mean,
found
I
the
just
apple.
figure. I mean, it just makes sense that you're leading. Your best receiver gets calls. That are actually made for him to get open. He actually gets open.
He scored 2 touchdowns on one drive.
It's just kind of crazy. What do you think, Nick?
Well, I think I know what you're saying. They don't have a guy like Cooper Kupp on the team. They don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have a route runner like that. I don't think.
I
I mean, I know Amari Cooper is a really good route runner, but
CD would probably be the closest one to that. In terms of his escapability and elusiveness, probably
But
CD.
there's no doubt they got to get the guys.
But there was
the
a
ball
point in the
little bit
Super
more.
Bowl, obviously, when Odell Beckham went down, everybody knew who it was going to be Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't stop it. They still couldn't stop it. And I thought that was amazing. And look, man, Matthew Stafford, I'm happy for him finally getting his opportunity to get a Super Bowl, and the way that he played in that 15-play drive. That's what the Super Bowl is all about, man. Those signature moments and drives that guys get those wins that live in infamy. If it goes back to Elway and getting the first down, whatever it is,
Montana,
Santonio Holmes in the toe touch. And I think he had his moment. There's going to be a lot of arguing about yellow jackets and all of that with Stafford, but I just feel as though he had his moment in the sun. I'm glad he got it.
We're going to talk about that yellow jacket kind of argument in the second segment and kind of throw DeMarcus Ware in there as well, as he didn't get into the Hall of Fame. So be sure to stick around for that. But I do want to hear your takeaways as it involves the Dallas Cowboys. Where does it relate in the way that you saw the game on Sunday and the way that game was played in the Super Bowl? What did you learn that you can bring back to your coverage of the Dallas Cowboys and say, okay, this is how they get to that level? Because right now it kind of feels like you're in a state of limbo in between a window of opportunity and a window that is quickly closing. So, Nick, I'll start with you on this one. What were your biggest takeaways from the game, and how could the Cowboys try and match that?
I think that you got to give a lot of credit to the Rams coaching staff. I mean, it's one thing to go get those players, the aggressive mindset. The Cowboys went out 2 years ago and got not the same caliber. But they got the Everson Griffins and Dontari Poe and there's a few more I'm missing. Clinton Dix and all that. And it just, for whatever reason, COVID or whatever, they just couldn't gel them together. So I think getting those guys is one thing, but finding the role for Odell Beckham to make him happy, to make Von Miller and those guys happy, to all work together. I thought that was masterful. So if the Cowboys or whoever want to take that approach, that's fine. I wouldn't give out a bunch of first-round picks, but you also got to have the coaching staff ready to go to put these guys in place to get them ready.
It's a great point.
I love that point. I think that I think the Rams showed the entire National Football League what it's worth. Like, what's your reason, right? Yeah. And everybody's going to talk about, they don't have a first-round pick for the next 4 years. So?
Got a Lombardi.
So? You played a game to win the Lombardi, and you figure out the rest later, right? Everybody always talks about the future. I know we've had this conversation, but they secured their future. They secure the future. Their future now states that they're the last people to win the doggone Super Bowl championship. That's what their future says. And guess what? Everybody else, now they have all the draft equity that they need. They have a roster full of guys that have Super Bowl rings on their hands, and now everybody's going to want what? They want a piece of that. So those 4 first-round picks that they're missing, they'll get their equity back when they're in a position now to trade some of these guys away. Do you want to get rid of your guys? No. But do you have the equity in order to get what you need? Absolutely. And that's the position that you want to be in. You want to control those cards. And I just hope that Dallas, and especially Dallas, is paying attention to say, if there are guys that you want, that we talked about this. There are guys that are out there that can be a freaking game changer for you right now, that would push you over the edge. Pull the doggone trigger. Stop talking about the future. Stop talking about the salary cap. Stop talking about all the things that we talk about. They kick the can all the doggone time. Doggone freaking punt, Brian Anger that thing, right? All the way down the field, because you need to find a way to secure the bag. Everything else would take care of itself. You're going to reset it every year anyways. Every single year, you're going to sit back, you're going to look at your roster and say, we got some tough decisions to make. You're going to do that every single year. So might as well do that with a doggone ring on your hand.
I agree with both of you guys, and I think that the point that you make, Nick, about the coaching staff being able to use all those guys is really important. It's one thing to get them, but it's another thing to use them. You've been Isaiah, you've stuck to your guns on the salary cap, and to be damned, get it now. And thankfully for the Rams, it worked. For a short little period there, they was almost looking like, oh, this wasn't going to work. And the team that pretty much band-aided their thing together was about to win the Super Bowl. And they should be kicking themselves right now for blowing it, because they blew it in the second half.
Yeah.
They blew it. And this is a team that obviously had an offensive line that no way in hell they should have been in the Super Bowl because they had 9 sacks in their first playoff game. And then the way that I think was it 7 sacks in the Super Bowl?
8.
Like 8 sacks in the Super Bowl. That's awful for a team to be at that level. Look, this is a copycat league, and everybody's going to say conventional wisdom will tell you that works. But it won't work for everybody.
Thanks.
And if the Cowboys go to that kind of mentality to say, look, we're going to sell out to do this, then it's going to be miserable as hell around here for years to come. And it may just be that way for the Rams. And it's funny to me how all of a sudden McVay is saying that, he may want to retire. I think McVay doesn't want to be the guy playing the violin on the Titanic. Because the future is looking bleak for them. So that's where all that talk comes from. But, look, you're right. They got a Super Bowl. They're going to be the Super Bowl champs all year, and everybody's going to look to this and say, this is the way that you can do it. I don't know if that works for us with the pieces that we have.
It's an interesting point because that's really the way that a lot of people on the outside look at this is, hey, they went out, they sold out, they went all in, and they won the Super Bowl title. That's what you play the game for. You play the game to lift a Lombardi trophy, and they did that. Things are going to get tough. This is not going to be an easy road back to that sort of mountaintop for L.A. because they're going to go right back to the bottom in a couple of years. Right now, they're fine. They have enough talent scattered throughout their roster that's not going to be vacated or equitized because of the fact that they won a Super Bowl title. They've got guys returning. But kind of like what you said that's interesting is now they have an opportunity, and you said it like a true businessman, to have a return on investment. Because you invested those first-round picks in this talented roster, having guys like Odell Beckham Jr., Jalen Ramsey you traded 2 first-round picks for, your doggone quarterback, Matthew Stafford you traded a couple first-round picks for. Now you got a chance to maybe go back and say, okay, now we can either push the reset button now, wait a year, see how we kind of patch the holes up again, and then push the reset button. But at some point, they're probably going to have some sort of return on that. The Cowboys have never been in that mindset because that's a quicker cycle. And I said this on the draft show a little bit earlier. It's a quicker cycle of winning, of that window. Your window's smaller, but it may be more volatile. You may have that opportunity to get to the top. Whereas the Cowboys have had it's like an 8 or 9, maybe a decade-long winning opportunity because they don't lose a whole lot, but they've always got a team that's just good enough to give you hope. So which strategy would you rather have? Take the names and the brands, take the star off the wall, take the Rams off the helmet. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the shorter, more volatile winning window where you have 3 or 4 years to get the job done, or 10 years and you just hope one of those years actually happens?
I'm going bazooka style.
You're kidding now.
I'm going bazooka style because all you can control is the now. You could plan all day long. Planning's cool. It's awesome. Yeah. If your plan works, right? Yeah. But
which you did for the Rams.
Which you did for the Rams. But the Rams played the now card.
Yeah.
They didn't play the later card. They played the now card. The Rams went out and got Von Miller. Why? Because they knew there was going to be a point in the playoffs, hopefully the Super Bowl, where they knew that they're going to have Aaron Donald and Von Miller on the field at the same time, and the team was going to have to play man-to-man against them, and there was no way that they're going to stop these guys. Guess what happened? Raheem Morris did a hell of a job creating those mismatches for those guys, right? The whole first half, they were double-teaming Aaron Donald, triple-teaming Aaron Donald, bouncing him around like a doggone pinball. Second half, Raheem Morris came out as a defensive coordinator and said, I figured out if I shift the line this way, now these guys, Von Miller has one-on-one with the tackle, and Aaron Donald has one-on-one with the guard. They can't stop him. I knew that, all right? I know that. That's the personnel that I have that is so dominant. That's why we went out and got Von Miller. What else? Okay, let's go out there. Let's get Odell, okay? Odell Beckham. We know when they got Odell Beckham, they had all 4 of the receivers. They had Woods, they had Kupp, they had Odell, and they had Jefferson. That was their game plan, right? Unfortunately, Woods went down with the injury, right?
Woods was gone before the Odell deal.
I thought he went down
same day.
It happened. Yeah,
it was a quick switch.
It was a quick switch. Yeah. But I think their intention was to have all 4 of those guys, right? Yes. So it just worked out that Odell became their number 3 instead of their number 4, however you want to look at it. But either way, they had it where there's like Cooper Kupp is super dominant. That's our guy. Well, we need a number 2 that can't be stopped as well. Right? So Odell's the guy. So there's going to be a time in the playoffs, hopefully the Super Bowl, where they go out there and they're going to try to double team our main guy, and who's going to have man-to-man coverage? Odell. We've had this conversation too many times. Dallas needs to find a way to secure the doggone bag because L.A. doesn't give a damn about 20 years down the road. That's what Dallas has been doing forever. Dallas has always been playing for the future. We're going to be set up long term for the future. And then a Jalen Smith doesn't work out. And then a Dontarie Poe doesn't work out. All these guys don't work out, right? If you go out there and get guys that are proven dominant players and you add them until what you have, you go out there and find another doggone Michael Parsons out there that's proven already, right? We talked about, KJ Wright early in the season, but if you go out there and make a crazy trade, I can't speak names, but, another dominant linebacker or something like that, you add that to Parsons, now what do you have? You might be cash strapped, but you're already cash strapped. And off of hope. Yeah. You might as well be cash strapped off a ring.
You're giving a look.
No, I'm all over the map on this one because the Rams might be okay.
I think they're gonna be good
if they keep drafting the offensive player of the year in the 4th round. I mean, you don't have the first-round pick, but, is Cooper Kupp – if Cooper Kupp went to another team right now, just another Jets, is he going to be just as good? I don't think so.
Be decent.
He'd be decent, but I think McVay's offense, I think, it's a perfect storm for what they're doing. And it's not just Stafford because he was doing it before Stafford, but it's kind of like the Cowboys got lucky with the 4th-round quarterback. I mean, it doesn't always happen. So, if you're not going to have a first-round pick, it's going to be tough. But if you're gonna steal Super Bowl MVPs in the mid rounds, you can make up for it.
And that's the thing. You use a Cooper Kupp and the slot receiver, and he's a dominant guy the way that he is, and that makes Odell Beckham's job so much more easier. He's been the number one guy. He's been used to being the guy that's getting those double teams. How much easier is it to be Aaron Donald when you have Von Miller sitting out on the side? When he was in the Super Bowl before, he wasn't as dominant because teams could just tee off on him. That was all they had. So, having Von makes you look a lot better. The Cowboys are in a situation when you talk about the defensive line with Tank, with Randy, now with Michael Parsons. You have all of your horses there if you could get those guys signed. And individually, I don't see a team in the NFC East that's going to say, oh, we're just going to pay attention to Tank or we're going to pay attention to Randy. Well, then you're going to let the rest of these guys get off. So you want to do that in the way the Cowboys are doing, and Will McClay has done it by building that through the draft. And I think the one thing that this team or any team wants to do is to build it through the draft so that way you have longevity and you're not just flash in the pan, do it one time. And if you can, and you played for the Patriots. So therefore you see teams that stick to their mantra, best player available, not overpaying guys, and it's a next man up mentality, really, simply because there is a structure already there through the coaching staff.
I agree with that point. I think the longevity side of things, if you do it the right way, can set you up just as much as a short all-in window. Just pure look at this year. If you're looking at, on paper, the talent from the Cowboys roster, is there that much of a drop-off from the talent of either one of the rosters that was in the Super Bowl?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not even
this
close.
Year.
Not this year. Next year might be a different story.
Next year different.
Might be a different story. Yeah. Same thing for L.A. L.A.'s not going to be as good next year. They'll be good. They're going to probably make the playoffs, but they're not going to be as good. It goes back to kind of what Nick's saying. The right players and the right opportunities
I hear you,
do you so much better. And the roster acquisition side of it for the Cowboys has been pretty decent. They put themselves in a position that they were talented, they were healthy, and they had a home field advantage, and you still couldn't get the job done. That's why it's frustrating.
The Rams didn't all this talent didn't go and just dominate the field. I mean, they needed to make a play against the Bucs, or they were about to lose an embarrassing loss.
Pick
they needed to play
San
against
Francisco.
the 49ers to work out the same thing. So, the Cowboys, you could say they might have the same kind of talent, maybe even more so. But they haven't proven that they can go make a play in that game, and then the next week, and then the next week to do that. They might make a play in one of the games, and then we would be talking about where the parade's going to be and all that stuff, and then they'd lose. And you know what I mean? So they got to be consistently able to stay at the top.
Where does that start, though? It's hard. I ask you that question and put you on the spot because that's the question that everybody is asking right now.
Yeah.
There's not a real answer.
Yeah, this offense isn't as consistent as it needs to be. This is where it starts. And I said this yesterday on one of our answers. You got to be great at something, and they're not great at anything really.
Ooh,
they don't. You got to be great at something, and if it was turnovers, they weren't getting it. They didn't get it in the playoffs like they needed to.
Nope.
So if it's going to be pass rush and turnovers, you can be great at that. So if that's what it is, but it's got to be consistently great. The offense, I mean, you got to start fast. I mean, you got to. I mean, what are we doing on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? I mean, why does it take halftime to start preparing? And you can do that. If you struggle against the Giants and Panthers and even the Patriots, you can fight your way back. You struggle against the Cardinals and the 49ers and the Rams, you're not going to come back. And they didn't. So I think that was the key. They didn't start fast in any game. They did it. Vikings, they were able to come back at halftime and figure it out. But most of the games, the good teams, it was too late.
That word that you kept using, longevity.
Longevity. It's a good word.
Dallas needs to get rid of that in their vocabulary. Just saying it, because there isn't, for no disrespect to McCarthy, but you're not Belichick. You're not Belichick, so you can't trust in your system because you don't have that system necessarily in place. You don't have the long-standing record and history of being able to put together a team through the draft, right? You don't have that.
I think McCarthy would agree with you, though, that you need to get rid of the longevity because he's not necessarily longevity.
He doesn't have that. Yeah, he doesn't have that. But you know what I'm saying? But like that mindset.
He's all in.
Yeah, he's all in. Yeah,
he's got to be.
He's the one he's
probably saying the same thing we're saying right now. He's like, we need to get all these guys.
It's not because of his making. It's not because of his making. It's because of everything that's outside.
Exactly. He's looking over his shoulder
He's
like,
in the
hurry
fourth
up,
round.
come on.
He's in the mid rounds, and it's like, well, we can get this veteran center for this pick, and you got all the scouts that are like, no, we got this guy on the board. We love him. He's like,
screw
that'd
that.
be good in 3 years. I need to win yesterday.
But like,
Israel
I would love to see Dallas take that approach. I would love it. Because you're in a cash-strapped situation right now. Well, you're not going to retain everybody.
Of those two teams, obviously LA winning the Super Bowl. Of those two teams, which one has the greater upside?
The greater upside?
Yeah.
Out of those two teams?
I can't speak to that.
Bengals or Rams?
I can't speak to that. Most people will say Cincinnati. Most people will say Cincinnati because these guys, because their O-line was terrible, because Joe Burrow's on the up and coming, Jamar Chase, all these guys, right? But you have to think about it. LA, you're in LA, right? Yes, your first round picks, your draft it looks pretty, meek right now, but you have equity now. You have a roster full of guys that you can trade away. You could trade. There are going to be plenty of teams that want those players now. I don't care how much experience those players have, they have a ring. So that's worth something in this league. So you could trade those guys away and you can get some of that draft equity back. So now you might not have the first round picks, but you got a bunch of seconds.
You could be the GM of either team. You're going to pick the Rams?
I'm going with the Rams.
I'll take the Bengals.
Yeah, I think
I'm going with the Rams.
Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals.
You got a franchise quarterback that's
if I could
established
just fix
moving
the
forward.
offensive line,
You're feeling really good.
I'm going with the Rams.
I get what you're saying.
I think the Bengals had a great year, but I think the Bengals caught some teams slipping. So there's some other teams in that division that are damn good.
I agree.
That just slipped up this year.
Yeah. They were 10-7.
Buffalo is better than. I can't say. They just prove that they're the better team
You're
this
talking
year.
about in the conference.
I'm talking about in that conference. I'm talking about Buffalo. I'm talking about the Patriots are about to be a freaking juggernaut here in a second because they spent a bunch of money last year, right? And they're going to be prepared for that. I'm talking about the Titans. They got caught slipping. Derrick Henry was hurt, right? So there's some other teams in that Cincinnati may not be back in that position again. I hear you guys, and I agree that they have some guys, some young talent that's up and coming, but I don't think that just those pieces are going to be enough going forward to go up against those other dominant teams. Yeah. I just don't.
I disagree because their quarterback is cheap right now. Their running back is cheap. The receiver is cheap. They got money to go do that. They had enough money to give Cheeto $10 million last year. I mean, good job. I mean, they're going to keep doing that. I mean, the
fact that he was their best corner too.
Yeah,
also
amazing.
They go upgrade that position too.
But so I agree to that point. But however, if you're a player and you have an opportunity to go play in a city because you have to go live in that city as well.
Pay taxes in that.
And pay taxes in that city. Yeah, you're gonna pay taxes in LA. You're gonna pay taxes in Ohio. Cool. But where are you gonna go?
I don't know
naturally,
is that true?
Yeah, you do.
Are they state?
You pay taxes on where you live and where you play. Every state that you play in, you pay taxes for that particular game.
You get those paychecks there.
So, but most people are gonna go to LA.
Hey, since
it's not hard to recruit to LA.
It is.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why. What was the coach for Oklahoma? He left and went to LA. He went to USC. It's not hard to recruit down there.
Okay, but did you see the contract that dude?
I hear you. I hear you.
You could send me
to resources,
to
right?
Akron before anything else.
I'm with you.
But how many players
is
are going to say, "I want to go and play with Joe Burrow"? I mean,
there's gonna be a lot of guys that want to go play with him until guess what happens?
They don't say
until Patrick Mahomes is like, yo, yeah, now Burrow's dope, but you see what we got over here? Until the Buffalo calls you, like, hey, yeah, so you see what we're doing over here too.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because you're talking about the aesthetic, the location. Like who wants to be in LA versus who wants to be in Cincinnati.
That's one of the recruiting tools.
Okay,
that's one of the recruiting tools.
So should we be looking for the Chargers to take a step forward? This next
the Chargers need help. The Chargers need help, but they have a good. I mean,
they've got a young quarterback.
Yeah, but
they're in LA.
But there are four solid. There's four solid teams in that division right now that have really good quarterbacks.
If I want to go to Miami, then that's where I'm going.
I like that idea.
All right, you know where I want to go? I want to go to break. So let's take our first break.
You want to say Mary? That's what you want to do.
When we come back,
I'm sure.
We're going to talk about the Hall of Fame and why is the bar set so high for some but so low for others. We'll hit that when we come back with more Talking Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. We're turning your living room into your office and your gym. We're teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, second segment here on a wonderful Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a good day, and of course had a great Super Bowl weekend and Valentine's weekend. You could also have a great weekend coming up as well, because you could go to AT&T Stadium March 5th and 6th for the legendary Western Weekend featuring the 2022 PBR Global Cup USA and the American Rodeo. Don't miss this fun-filled weekend, capped off with a performance by Grammy Award-winning superstars Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Yes. Right up there on Heckma's iPod. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium.
Hey, I went to the rodeo last week. I plan on going to that one. I got to find some tickets. If y'all got a plug, let me know.
I've got 2 if you want them.
I definitely want those.
One time for the rodeo.
Don't be holding out on me. Hey, the African-American rodeo's this weekend. Hey, in Fort Worth. Just say, heck, African-American rodeo's in town.
Oh, good.
You ready
it's
to
in
be
Mesquite.
No, Mesquite.
Is it in Mesquite?
No, it ain't Mesquite. It's in Fort Worth.
It's in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where it's got to be.
No,
it's at the big arena.
It's got to be at Fort Worth.
Got to be in Fort Worth.
Okay.
It's at the.
If there's a rodeo, it's usually in Fort Worth.
It's right there. I don't know.
Okay, so I got to ask you guys, now that I got you.
Okay.
Halftime. What did y'all think about halftime?
Solid.
I loved it.
Could have been a lot better, though.
I'm kind of on that.
It could have been better. You know
agree.
how?
How?
Because when he played in my head, Tupac, a hologram of Tupac was going to come up, and that would have blew the roof off the place. That would have set it off. I don't understand how you can have a West Coast-themed halftime show with Dre and not have Pac.
There were tributes of Tupac, though.
I don't give a doggone. They have the technology to put Pac out there.
But then not his rap, not his verse, which I think I think that second verse of that song is the greatest rap lyric of all time.
That's a bold statement.
That is a bold statement. I think it's up there.
Damn. I like me some Pac, too.
Shut up, jail, I don't bail. California's great.
Hey.
They had
I thought it was the best ever. I don't care. I'm not one of those that's like, oh, that was whack. No, he's 50 cents a dollar. What? Who hasn't gained weight? I mean,
for real.
They go out there.
Nah, Nick.
I thought he looked fine.
Don't bail him out, Nick. He knew he was going to be in the halftime show.
He was bulked up.
He
it's
knew
fine.
he was going to be in the halftime show.
That's all right.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a great tribute for where the Super Bowl was. Those guys are older, okay, but that's okay. I mean, LeBron James, Jennifer Lopez. I mean, like everybody that you saw. I mean, everyone. That's the music that they listened to. I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was outstanding.
I need a Pac though.
I'm with you. I mean,
they had a chance. They could have did.
Brenda's got a baby.
Come on, man.
The biggest thing with it.
No. He teased me, man.
You thought it was
running around the house because I told my wife. I told my wife. I said they're gonna play. Pac's gonna show. Pac is gonna be there in a hologram. I said he's gonna do it. And then as soon as that last song, right, that transition to that last song when Dre got back on the keys and they brought the new stage up, I said, oh, Pac's coming up. Here it comes. I literally jumped off the couch. I said, I told you. And then he remixed it back to his. Dun, 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 dun. I said, you skipped over Pac?
Yeah.
It was a tribute to Pac, and then they went back into the song. It was fine.
All I'm saying is probably one of the greatest halftime performances I've seen.
It was awesome.
I thought it was great. I don't know if it was all-time great.
There's a difference between nostalgia.
Prince is up there. Prince is certainly
Michael
up there.
Jackson,
Beyonce,
Bruno Mars, and
Coldplay. That was phenomenal.
But there's a difference between performance and nostalgia. I think this one had nostalgia. I don't think it had a performance.
Yes, that's where I'm at. That's where
I am all on the nostalgia. Come on now. There's a difference between putting on the show and just being hyped because the songs are amazing.
Mary J. Dougie in boots that were up to her thigh, bro.
But we're not going to put these guys on the same platform performance-wise as a Bruno and Beyonce and them. You just can't. As a Michael Jackson. As a Michael Jackson jumping out the dog on stage.
You can just totally dismiss Elvis Presley in Super Bowl IV. I don't know.
I wasn't around for that one.
Either. You probably didn't, but it sure.
We had this debate earlier at my facility, and we watched some of the best ones. Michael Jackson flew out the stage. They did a fake Michael Jackson on top of the stadium. I think it was down there at the Rose Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
They had a fake Michael Jackson out there, so everybody's attention went up there, and then next thing you know, the real mic,
yeah,
popped out the middle of the stage.
4 fake mics?
Yeah. And he stood there for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes, he just stood there, and they were just waiting on the doggone cue.
That's superstar.
And that boy took them glasses off, and then old girl came out there with the man.
Did you faint?
No, I'm not doing that. But it's funny how Travis Scott gets a lawsuit, but Michael Jackson's people used to pass out all the time.
Oh,
what about Janet Jackson halftime? Okay, sorry.
Don't do that. Dang it.
Yep. Well, let's go into Hall of Fame talk.
It was the coldest halftime ever.
But you. Damn it.
Credit Nick.
Oh, I'm glad Nick is my direct boss here, so we can't get in trouble. Thanks, guys.
Hey, I'm a West Coast guy, so I was vibing. I was singing all of them. Nostalgia-wise, awesome. Performance-wise, it wasn't a performance.
It wasn't.
It's not a performance.
I would even say
went upstairs then downstairs. I mean, they just added some stairs.
It was amazing. It was amazing from that regard in terms of classics, just bangers. But I'm not going to say it's a performance.
I would say even like JT. Not these halftime shows weren't better halftime shows in terms of entertainment value, but in terms of performance value, I would say JT was up there. The Weeknd even last year was great from a performance standpoint. The lights.
You lost me.
Oh, come on. It was great.
I mean, he spent $5 million of his own money to do a selfie,
which is still phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, think about like a Maxwell. Maxwell has bangers, right? I'm gonna go see Bruno Mars before I see Maxwell.
Okay.
Just because the performance side of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Right.
Let's talk about the Hall of Fame as the NFL class of 2022 was rained down upon this past weekend. And there was one name that we thought was going to be a part of that class and ultimately was not, and that's DeMarcus Ware. Nick, I'll start with you just based on the fact that Ware didn't get in. It's not a question of if, it's just when with DeMarcus Ware, but why not the first ballot for him?
The Hall of Fame committee is trying to change it up. They feel like there's too many first ballot guys. They want to make a little bit more special. The Peyton Mannings maybe Tom Brady, Drew Brees, that they feel like first ballots are getting watered down. So it was very clear that they weren't going to give it to D. Ware or Andre Johnson or even Devin Hester or whatever. And they wanted to use this year to bring in some older guys. And congratulations, they did it was probably the weakest Hall of Fame class in the history of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, you want to run through it?
No, I don't even know who they are.
Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Bryant Young, Cliff Branch, Art McNally, Dick Vermeil.
Good players.
Yeah.
Good coach.
They're all solid.
Good ref.
Yeah.
Good guys.
So there you go. That's
I just don't look at those guys and be like, yeah, the best.
Hall of Fame.
That's my opinion. Sorry. What do y'all think?
I agree. I mean, there wasn't no star-studded names. I mean, Seymour sticks out because he was freaking dominant.
That's probably the one name that I look at.
Richard Seymour should have been a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe I just didn't see him play as much. He didn't stand out to me.
He's a dude.
Why is Darren Woodson not in the Hall of Fame?
That's the best thing that happened.
Eh.
Leroy Butler getting in. It's the best thing. Rob would have told this story if he was here. He might have already said it. When he interviewed Shireen Williams, who's one of the Hall of Fame voters, she said that Leroy Butler's got to get in because he was all-decade team and Woodson was not. And so he's got to get in first. And then it'll trickle down from there. Like this was the best thing that happened for Darren Woodson was Leroy Butler.
Next man up.
Yeah, which I don't know.
I thought when Atwater got in, that would be the next move for Darren Woodson. So I mean, look,
maybe that was the first domino, and Butler's the second one. Now the third one could be Woodson.
Either way, I mean,
is Lynch in? John Lynch?
Yeah, I think so.
I know he's been up there a while. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. And so D. Ware getting the whole first ballot thing, and that's an argument that people go back and forth with about opinions of D. Ware's game.
He is.
And
John,
I didn't think first ballot to me is
unstoppable.
Like you were that dude that changed the game. And like you said, with it becoming a little bit more watered down, with guys getting in that you would say, oh, they were all right, they were good during their time. Look, is DeMarcus Ware a Hall of Famer? Hell yeah.
Yep.
First ballot. I mean, I
well,
don't think so.
Based off of that, then I mean, you think he's not the best pass rusher of all time, and Andre Johnson certainly isn't. But that being said, Devin Hester should have gone in then.
Yep. He was the best kick returner. He changed the position.
I mean, he scared the crap out of everybody when you tried,
You just didn't kick it.
Yeah.
No, to that point.
You didn't want 23 to get it.
Yeah.
If you're the best at your position, the greatest of all time at your
Tony
position.
Dungy told I thought was awesome. Did y'all hear it? Like before the game, they were not going to kick it all week, and then the team chaplain came up before the night before and was just like, you can't be afraid of anything, the moment and all that. And he went to the team. He's like, you know what? Forget that. We're kicking it. We're kicking it right to them. We're going to go down. We're going to tackle them. And they lost the toss, kicked it off to the house.
That's in his book, right?
Yeah. It was like, okay, don't do that again.
Great book, by the way, but that's one of the first stories that he told.
07, you were there in 07 at Chicago. I think it was like week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Reed might have been the special teams coach.
Yeah,
then.
Bruce. Yeah,
and he was like, they kicked it and we're gonna kick it away. Well, it went like hit a cheerleader the kickoff, so they got it at the 40. He tried it again. I remember Keith Davis actually came over and said, "Kick it down the middle. We'll tackle him." And I believe they forced a fumble.
Yeah,
I mean,
we was on his tail.
Yeah, but not many people did that. Y'all did.
We had some dogs. Though.
He was awesome. I like that
we had some dogs on kickoff.
I love that.
One of the things about the Hall of Fame, though, is can you tell the story of the NFL with that, with or without these players?
No, you can't do that without.
You can't do that without Devin Hester.
Argument.
Why?
because how big's the story?
It's a great story.
How big,
Have you seen the 100 century book that they had?
No, I just think it's always, can you tell the story? Like, how much time do I have? Is it like, Pudge, Heffelfinger came in and he got
Leroy
a football,
Butler
and
would
then
probably
they came in there and then they kicked it off, and then there was a Manning and his brother, and then stick him on the helmet, and game's over. Or do I get a long story? You know what I mean? Like
you get a long one.
Well, no.
Shut up.
I don't know. Hester was a beast. That's all I know.
He was.
He was a beast.
He was. So was DeMarcus Ware, and so was Matthew Stafford this past year. So There's been Hall of Fame talk about him because of the statistics. Oh, let me get there. I promise. There's a reason behind this. Because of the statistics, he's top 5 in terms of passing yards per game. He's top dozen in all-time passing yards and completions and passing touchdowns and so on and so forth. But he only has the 1 Pro Bowl, and now he has a Super Bowl title. So there's been Hall of Fame talk thrown out there, and it's been absolutely shot down by pretty much everybody to this point. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to do the same thing because I don't think it's a Hall of Fame worthy career at the moment. Doesn't mean that can change. It could always change. But right now, is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer?
No, not to me.
If he were to retire right this second.
No, he's not. He wasn't. He wasn't ever considered the best of his era at all. They won a Super Bowl, and if he wins 2 Super Bowls, that changes the conversation a little bit. I don't think there's any quarterback that's won 2 that's not in.
Yeah,
I don't believe. But there's guys that have won 1 that aren't in. That aren't in there, and I just don't think he was ever considered the best. But if they run it back and they do it again, maybe we'll have different talk.
Yeah, I can't see him being a Hall of Famer currently.
Yeah.
Man, the argument about Hall of Fame or not is really one that gives me the willies because I think, all of these guys played for that glory. Sure. And you hear so many of them. I talked about Chris Carter saying that I would trade this jacket in a heartbeat for a Super Bowl ring. And so I think for Matthew Stafford getting to the point where he's won a Super Bowl ring and that being the crown, like the cherry on top would be to be a Hall of Famer. Let's not forget, man, all the years that he played with Megatron and those numbers that he put up. But I agree with you, Nick, when you say he was never considered to be that guy of his era. He came close, but no one looked and said, no, Matt is that guy. And then even with those bad years in Detroit when there was no Megatron, he just suffered through those years and tried to elevate the team, and he couldn't. I've always thought of Matt Stafford, even this year, I think he had to shake off some of those bad habits that he had in Detroit. Because it's hard for a guy to play on the team with an organization that was that bad for that long to you yourself not become trash. And it's just his arm elevated him. And you saw some of the mistakes that he would make in the playoffs, and I thought that those are all byproducts of those years that he had in Detroit. But I don't want to argue whether he's a Hall of Famer or not. I just feel as though he was a guy that raised his level of play at this moment, especially with someone going into the playoffs and everybody saying, oh, he's never even won a playoff game. Well, he just marched his way all the way through all of that, won himself.
Now he's got 4. Right?
There you go. Now he's got 4. Now he's got a Super Bowl to boot. So, like you said, if he does it again, I think then they'll start saying, all right, well, let's start considering. But right now, all the naysayers and everybody's basing it on statistics will say no.
So why does everybody have so many question marks around Eli?
There's no question about Eli. I think that's dumb. If you have a question about Eli.
I think it's dumb too, but a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people
One of the guys is right here walking by the studio at the moment.
Well, I don't think he ever was the guy that carried the team to the Super Bowl. I mean, that wasn't what they were great at. They didn't. I mean, he's the quarterback of the team. They didn't. I mean, he wasn't like that's not why they won. That's not why they beat the Patriots, because of him.
Straight hand.
Why are you looking at me like that? Like you act like the defense didn't. I mean, those 17 pass rushers that they had.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's going to be aspects of your team that are stronger than the others, but you still have to score
had to catch
points.
the ball in his helmet.
You still have to score points.
I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's. I
think you're just being a devil's advocate.
I'm saying that's why, but he's going to go in the Hall of Fame. He's got a lot of stats. He did it for a long time. For a guy that wasn't really a great athlete, no one ever sacked him. He was just the kid brother with the weird look on his face all the time. But like he deserves to get in. He deserves to get in. But that's the reason why.
Kid brother with a weird look on his face. That's Eli. That's going to be on his bust. It'll say Eli Manning, and that'll be it on the bottom.
I love watching that show, though. By the way, with when the Monday night broadcast,
the Manning cast stuff.
They just re-upped.
They should.
It's for like 4 years now.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Money.
I was surprised to see them re-up because I thought they were going to be in talks to be ownership.
Oh, baseball's trying.
Somebody's going to recreate it because A-Rod's on there.
Good luck with that. That's not the same. I mean, it's and also you got to have like a sister station where you can do that too, because of the billions of dollars that those TV rights are. ESPN's like, all right, we'll
do it on 2.
We'll take it from here. Yeah. Watch them flip next year.
Oh, Monday night actual broadcast will be on ESPN2.
Yikes.
It could. Yeah, it depends on the numbers. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, some important dates for you to keep in mind as we continue on this Cowboys offseason when we return with more Talkin' Cowboys.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more. Do more. Essilor.
What?
We should have told her in the break. We didn't give her a warning. That's on us. Jasmine doing a great job running the show.
I like
in
the
the
Zoolander
back.
face, though.
Nick Eatman filling in.
What was that? Was it Blue Steel?
I didn't watch that crappy show.
Whoa.
Zoolander?
Yeah. 1 and 2.
No.
I didn't see the second one.
And the second one wasn't great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Isaiah Stanback, Nick Eatman, Heckma Harrison. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us. Talking Cowboys presented by Tostitos.
Which second one is great?
Anchorman 2 is phenomenal.
Sing 2.
Sing 2 was great, dude.
Rocky 2 was good.
Rocky 2 was great.
What's your favorite comedy movie?
Just movie, period?
Man, number 1. I don't want to hear number 1 through 3. Number 1.
I love how many topics we're hitting.
Harlem Nights was a damn good one.
It's a good movie.
Would you stop shooting that little shit?
Quick! I don't know. Off the top of my head, I really don't have one.
Shoot me in the pinky toe.
Talladega Nights is pretty phenomenal.
Is the best quotable movie in history.
So funny. So funny.
Come on,
the other guys
the
is
best
great.
one-liner movie ever.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. Ooh, that one's good too.
That's a good one.
That's my fiance's favorite.
But you talk about one-liner movies. Coming to America.
Oh, it was great. It was
good
great.
one too.
I mean, there's a ton.
I am a huge Coming to America fan, but I can't stand behind it and say that it has more one-liners than Talladega Nights. Talladega Nights has a lot.
Stick that knife in your leg, Ricky Bobby.
I didn't like that movie.
What?
Nah,
Talladega Nights?
I didn't, and you would think I would.
Yeah, you like NASCAR.
Wow. NASCAR and all that. That wasn't my thing.
And maybe you just took it too serious because of the NASCAR connection.
Maybe.
That might be the case.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Nick has never been so impressed.
So my favorite movie is Major Payne. Is that how would you rate that one?
I'm probably top 5 of the worst ever. No, I don't know.
Did you see the dejection on Isaiah's face? Did you see it?
Oh, God.
Isaiah was.
No, I don't know if I've ever seen it.
You've never seen Major Payne?
No, but I worked at a video store, so I'd put it.
You
put it up
freaking
there.
go back to Blockbuster and watch Major Payne.
I didn't work there, but it's cool.
Red box it, something.
Major Pain is a 10.
Oh,
Thank you very
Jazz
much,
coming in
Jazz.
there. How
Thank
about
you.
that?
That's your homework, Nick.
Out of 100.
Nigga, Night, that's your homework.
Okay, I've seen it. I've seen it. I think I've seen it.
What is your humor style then? What's your thing?
I just told you, like anything with Vince Vaughn, like that's probably going to be my thing.
That's a good one.
All right.
I like
it's
it.
Sarcastic humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
On the comeback. Come.
I'm never going to forget Isaiah's look on his face there.
Not really.
Whenever you said that.
Guy.
Yeah.
Major Payne's greatness.
Oh,
the movie
goodness.
The Breakup is what you just quoted.
Did I do that for real?
Yeah,
was that the breakup?
It was the breakup.
Yep.
You
Hold
just
on.
quoted that.
It's
movie.
Black History Month. Have you guys ever seen Harlem Nights?
No.
No.
I haven't watched it.
It's an African American
watch it.
necessity. You can't be of the African American culture if you've never seen Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights.
What about Life?
That too.
yeah.
You throw that one in there Friday. There's a
The
couple.
Bappy.
There's a couple movies that just are just mandated that you have to watch. if you have,
It's a birthright.
I've never seen Harlem Nights, Isaiah. I'm
dang
sorry
it.
about that.
Oh,
See,
Jazz is back there too.
You
Sorry
take
about
that
that.
back right now.
I've never seen it. I'm sorry.
We're going to have a watch party, Talking Cowboys. It's actually turned into Talking Hollywood here over the last couple of minutes, but yeah.
Send it out in the staff newsletter.
The breakup? Did I really just
You quoted the breakup. Wow. Yeah.
Really?
Great job, though.
Chick flicks, man. I watch them all.
You watch way too many of those things. It is Valentine's
I
weekend
mean,
still.
that's got Vince Vaughn and Rachel from Friends in it. I mean, that's everyone loves
Did you just
it.
forget Jennifer Aniston's
Well, I know her name, but
You watch Friends?
Yeah, Friends is hilarious.
is
You don't
awesome.
watch that?
He also watched
The
Martin.
closest I got to Friends was Seinfeld.
That's not the same at all.
Seinfeld's is not even close.
Okay,
Seinfeld.
but I'm just telling you where-
Seinfeld
that's
is,
the closest
is
I ever got to.
basically what we just did right here. Is 30 minutes of air. Like
nothing.
that's kind of what we've done. We just talked about a lot of that. Wow.
Oh.
You know what I love about those shows though? Like even like whether it be Friends, The Office, whatever. Like those shows are not that old. I mean, they're 10, 15 years ago. They couldn't make those shows now.
No, it's
There's
sensitivity levels.
Yeah,
now are
you're
just-
like, what?
Nope. Not even
I was watching
close.
The Living Color with my kids last week because they just needed to get cultured a little bit.
Yeah.
They're just too sensitive out here. Too sensitive.
Everybody gets
I got
a
the side eye
Valentine's
from my wife
card.
a little bit, but I was like, they need this. They need this.
And
First-
salmon bombing fluid.
First,
Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah.
first you take away the Valentine's cards, and now you make them watch.
Yeah, doggone right, man.
different
Gotta
TV
toughen up
shows.
these kids. This is a sensitive world we live in nowadays. Let's be honest. The rules in the NFL are sensitive.
Yep.
Everything seems sensitive.
Everything's sensitive.
Can't grab a receiver when he's going over the middle.
Yeah,
trying to
Pro
make a
Bowl.
play.
Next
Can't-
Valentine's
Can't hand check in basketball.
There's a flag on the
Hey,
final. couple
next
plays of
Valentine's
the
Day,
Super
get
Bowl.
your son a
I got him a
basketball.
bag of Sour Patch Kids.
There you go.
That was it.
There you go.
That's
Do
a
that.
pretty solid
Yes.
Valentine's
Yeah,
gift.
he
if
got a
you
big
ask
bag.
me. I
Boom.
love Sour
Boom,
Patch
there you
Kids.
go. There you go, son.
There you go.
I hit him in the chest with it too.
All right, some NFL offseason dates that we need to kind of keep in mind moving forward. March 8th is the tag deadline, so up until that point, of course, Cowboys will have a decision to make on who they would tag. Anybody off the top that you would potentially put in that category?
Ain't tagging anybody this year.
I don't think so either.
I don't.
The only one that would be close would be Randy, but
That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money for Randy. So I'm thinking probably not, right? So tag deadline there. Negotiations can begin on March 14th at noon. What's up?
Anger?
I was just about to say that.
That's
just
not gonna tag
say
the punter?
that. Yeah.
That's
was
about
just-
the only one.
I was just about to say anger. But
But-
I got scolded last time I brought his name up in here.
Who's the sculptor in here?
It was the top 3 people to bring back.
I mean, I don't know.
I think I'm the one
I
that's
don't think you.
called
I
out.
don't.
That boy definitely just snitched on you.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to franchise him though. I think you
Yeah,
just
you sign him.
Just sign him back.
Give Bones a 2-year extension or something like that.
And he'll be there.
He's been great. He's been great. What's the problem with the special
I have no
teams?
problem with Bones. What is your problem with that?
Uh-oh.
I don't have a problem with Bones at all. Hey, give him a 2
It's a little tongue in cheek. Is this because I called you the scolder?
I'm not
Did
doing
he swallow before he said at all?
At all. We don't like the special teams. Anyways,
I
but
think he's been all right.
I think Anger sees that with him, he's done enough fake punts that whoever the punter is here is going to be golden because they don't block. Everyone is scared about the fake punt. I mean,
yeah.
The former special teams coach here told me that he was like, every time we play Fossil, you don't even worry about the gunners. You're looking at the fake.
don't
Well,
rush.
they only do it 1% of the time, if that. So then the guy gets a free punt. It's up in the air. It's a 5-second hang time. No net. you set net records all the time.
Yeah.
The punter here is very good because of the fact that Fossils put it out there as his
point.
reputation. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's a really good point.
It's actually a super solid point. I've never even thought of it that way.
So we can get rid of anger and bring in somebody else.
Yeah, let's
What
just
are you
go get a
talking
cheap
about?
guy,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, and let's not pay the punter at all.
Don't you throw my old teammate to the side.
That's fair too. I mean, you could take that aspect of it.
So back to the dates. March 14th, negotiations can begin. 2 potential free agents or open free agents that are unrestricted. March 16th is the official league year starting over, and that's where free agency officially begins. 27th is where the league meetings take place in Florida. April 4th, new head coaches can start their offseason, but then the offseason begins for teams with returning head coaches on April 18th, and then draft visits begin 2 days after that. Back to draft visits. I've been here for 3 years now. This would be I'm going into what will be my 4th season. I've never seen a draft visit take place in person because of COVID. So the fact that they're actually happening this year and the plan is moving forward like that, it's a good sign.
When's the first day of free agency? March 16th?
March 16th is the first day of official free agency. Of course, you'll hear the reports all the way up until that point.
The fan base is going to get pissed off March 16th.
Yep.
That's when they're going to go crazy.
March 18th, we're winning the Super Bowl for sure.
I don't know about that. They're gonna be mad.
Maybe not this year.
I mean, the fans are just gonna be mad because they're gonna see the guys go out the door and they're gonna get Dorrance Armstrong. And I'd be happy about it.
Yeah.
If that, I'm just saying, like, I don't know who it's gonna be, but like, it's always like Darian Thompson that just re-signs like a 1-year deal, and it's just that just pisses off.
Everybody's super sarcastic on Twitter.
No, Brown's back.
Yeah, we got him.
That's what
big deal of the summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's how it is. That's how it works every single year. But we'll, of course, keep you updated throughout here on Talkin' Cowboys. But that does it for us today. Nick, thanks so much for filling the hot seat of Rob Phillips. And we'll have Rob back soon. Heckma Harrison for Isaiah Standback, for Jasmine in the back, running things greatly today. I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from Talkin' Cowboys. We'll see you next week.
That was at the beginning.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?